let's talk about Taylor Swift, specifically about her cardigan. You know the one, right? Well, Taylor has released multiple versions of the physical cardigan upon the release of several of her new albums and re-recorded albums. Some of them felt like they hit the mark for the feel of the album it's for, while others, in my opinion, really missed the mark. So, what I'd like to do is take the idea of her trademark cardigan and redesign and recreate one for each of her albums, starting with my personal favorite, Evermore. Now, the biggest problem with the Evermore cardigan is that it does not exist. So let's change that. Now, since this cardigan for Evermore does not exist, we do have quite a bit more free reign in that we don't have any previous cardigan to base it off of, as far as a specific cardigan made for that album. So with that, we are able to capture the initial elements of the original cardigan and twist it in a way that is quite original, in my opinion. So what we can do is we can look at an official Taylor Swift cardigan. I am wearing one here. This is the Lover cardigan. There are multiple cable details down the front, arms, and back. Specifically, the big ones that you'll see are the diamonds down the center. Remember that when we get into the actual design portion of our cardigan here. And with that, I am taking this off because it is the middle of July and it is sweltering in here. So I will be removing this. As far as materials go, I am keeping it to a more frugal standpoint. Not too long ago, a certain big company that was very near and dear to a lot of our hearts closed down. And with that came some tremendous sales in yarn. Now, that yarn might not have been the best of quality, but it gets the job done. And with that, I was able to snag myself 2 of the 1 pound Lion brand skeins in the shade Olive. And with that, this is the material that we are using for our sweater. And additionally, the other material that we're using is a pattern that we are going to be adapting from Lion brand. It is called the Taylor Swift cardigan. It is a free pattern from several years ago after Folklore had been released. They made a pattern based on the Folklore cardigan. And now that pattern does call for their Wool Ease worsted weight yarn. I have made the initial pattern using that yarn previously. It came out incredibly thick. It is a worsted weight yarn in a very tight cable sweater, and I also have a bit of a tighter gauge. So for me, it came out far too thick and quite frankly unwearable. So if you are to make this, heed that warning, maybe use a DK weight instead. With that, we are going to be adapting that pattern and adjusting stitch counts, but using the same general shape and form of it, such as how long our pieces need to be, following the decrease methods, and just using that as our template that we're going to base it off of. And with that, let's get into the design process. All right, so step 1 for me was drafting my design. Now, if we look at the original design of my knockoff Folklore cardigan, you'll see that the main center design here is this diamond cable right down the middle. For me, I knew I wanted this to be based off of mostly the song Ivy is one of my favorite songs on the album, and for me that just kind of screams the theme of the album. So I wanted to incorporate like a leaf motif down the spine of the sweater. So I started with some swatches. The first one I have here is a similar swatch to the original design. It's a diamond motif with a leaf in the middle, but I do feel like it is not the easiest read, at least with the yarn I chose. It just isn't really reading leaf to me. I think what I need to do is do the swatch again in the yarn I'm going to be working the pattern in, because I still love it. I just don't know if it's right. But based on my swatches, I do have another one here, and this is my current winner, which is these leaves that are just creeping up. This is more in tune with the vibe I was going for initially. It just got so lucky when I found the other swatch. So I'm like, okay, I mean, maybe I have to try it at least. But with my original design, this was more in tune with what I had thought out for it. Now with these though, they are different stitch counts than the original pattern that I was following, which posed a little bit of a problem for me in the fact that I've already started. I already have my stitches on here for the size I was making. And it's not the right count for any of these. So I think what I want to do is frog this. I'm gonna then take the yarn and do more swatches. I'm gonna do this again in the yarn that I'm making the sweater in, because I really want to see how this is going to look on here. I could do the same for this one. I don't think I will though, because I do already like it and I think I will like it no matter what. And I'll go from there. Okay, so I did end up doing my swatches like I said I would. Initially, I just wanted to swatch this one, which was just the leaf within the center diamond. And I ended up really, really liking it more actually after I made it in the yarn I'm going to make the sweater in. So I thought that was going to definitely be the middle piece. But I still really, really liked the idea of the vines, the leaves going up a vine. So I decided to use both. So what I'm going to do is in the center is going to be this motif right here, because I think it is just actually a perfect fit. This is me just trying to visualize it. So it's going to be this motif going down the middle, and then on the sides, in place of one of the other cable patterns, I'm just going to replace it entirely with this one. But I'm just going to be using half of it. So you're just going to see the leaves leaning in towards the center of each of them. I think that will look really, really cute. This is me attempting to do a swatch of it, but I just didn't want to go any further than the one diamond, so I wasn't able to do another leaf on it. But I do really like the concept, so I think it's gonna be really, really cute. Been steadily working on the back panel here for on and off for a couple of weeks. This has been not really driving too much of my attention, to be honest with you. I have another project that I'm trying to finish for next month, which is almost done, so that I'll be able to really, really focus on this even more. But I am absolutely loving how it's coming out. I'll move forward here so you can actually see it a little bit better. But here we have it. I love how the motif is coming out. I think that this is just perfect. So I'm really excited by how it's all coming together. And basically I just need to get this to about 15 inches. I haven't measured it yet, but I know it's not there. So I assume I just need like one more repeat, and that should be the right length. And then we start shaping the armholes. And yeah. And then the back panel's basically done. It's a very simple pattern as far as like construction goes. The hardest part was just figuring out the cable placements and stuff. So very happy with how it's coming out. It is, it's coming along. It's coming along. So we'll keep working on it. So about a week ago, I ended up finishing this back of the sweater. It's still amazing. I still love it. I think it still looks very, very clean. I'm very proud of my stitch work on it. And a couple days ago, I finished the left front. As we can see here, I did end up changing the stitch on the side. This was supposed to be a this was supposed to be a wide cable, 10 stitches long. And I ended up switching it out for the same leaf pattern that I used on the back panel here, next to the diamonds in the center. I adjusted it a little bit to make it 2 stitches wider, because on here it's a 6 stitch wide cable pattern, and here, to make it fit the stitch pattern without having to take off any more stitches, I just added 2 on both sides for pearls, and I'm very happy with it. I have already started the right front, so I have the leaf going up here on this side, that's going to be in the center to match the center on that one. And then after I stitch all these up, we'll see how it fits. I have a strong inkling it's going to be a little less oversized than intended. I think it'll fit. I think it'll be fine. It's stretchy enough, but it's not going to be a cardigan that I button. That's for sure, because this is it's gonna be a nice open cardigan, which is fine. We don't need to close every cardigan we have. Sometimes it's just for opening, and I'm fine with that. It's still gonna be pretty. I still really love how my stitches are coming out. I keep wearing green. I keep wearing green when I'm trying to show this off, so we get the lovely green on green action. 50 shades of green, if you will. That's me right now. But it is coming along very nicely. I'm very proud of it. So I will probably see you next after I have finished this up and sewn the sides and shoulders. And probably when I'm slipping it on, just to see the damage. And we'll go from there. Cool, good check-in. See you next time. Hey, so here's that check-in I mentioned a little bit late, and I'll explain in a second. So I have finished both fronts and I seamed it together with the back. So we can see that it's all very nice, very clean. I am very, very pleased. The length is perfect. It's like right at the booty. So it's nice and long. It's not like at the waist like a lot of the sweaters I make are, so I made this nice and long. The front, like I had said before, I changed to where this was a wide cable, and I made it the leaf going up on the side. So I think it's so pretty. I'm so happy with how that came out. I still have to add the button band, so it's gonna add a little bit more width into it, and it will close quite nicely, I think, actually. It might be a little tight, but it'll be fine. And then when I say I was a little late, well, I went ahead and finished a sleeve. I've started the second sleeve already. I'm working on that right now. I just haven't had time to check in, but it's fine. So here's one sleeve. I need to seam it on still. So for this pattern, what I did was I changed the center cable like I did on the back to the leaf center cable or leaf cable diamond. So you can see there's a nice pretty leaf motif in the center of it. Very, very happy with it. The original pattern had called for when I increase to add additional cables on the side, and I did not want to do that. I decided to keep it all in moss stitch, and I'm very happy that I did, actually. I think it looks so nice. I love the moss so much. It adds a really pretty texture. So that's one sleeve. Like I said, I just started the second one. And then once I finish that, I just smack the microphone. Once I finish that, I just slap these babies on. They're gonna be a nice length. As you can see, my fingertips are barely coming out. So it's gonna be quite long on me, which is nice. Make it nice and cozy when it's cold. And yeah, I am very, very, very pleased so far with the result of this. It's exactly as I've imagined it so far. So, that's always good. It's so pretty. Just look at that. I think it'll show a lot better once I add the button band and I can actually close it. Because right now, because this part is stockinette, it's going to do the thing where it rolls in on itself, which if you're not familiar, stockinette will do that. I still have a lot of work to do. I'll show you. So like I said, I just started on this. I just started on this yesterday. So I am barely there. Before, after. Got a bit of a ways to go. So I'm going to watch K-pop Demon Hunter for the third time because I am obsessed with that movie right now. It's just so cute, so good. The music is banging. I want to watch that. I'm gonna truck along and making this. Hopefully I'll get some distance today. And I should hopefully finish this sweater this week, I think. That one sleeve took me about 4 days on and off. It was just very boring. Sleeves are boring, and it's getting bigger as you work on it, so it just takes longer and longer the longer you go. And then once that's done, I can't wait to seam it all together. The button band's just going to take me a couple hours, and then it's done. And then I have a cardigan.
Remember the days we were young, wild and free, basic getting sprung. We used to dance the night away, hang out the whole next day, laughing, having fun.
So I've attached the sleeves. They are looking so nice. I'm so happy. This took like 2 hours, honestly. Roughly, yeah, about that actually. Maybe an hour and a half. Anyway, sleeves are sewn on. Now I need to do a button band, so this is gonna take me a little bit of time. So next time you see me, I will have a button band installed on here. It'll be great. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. Look at it, look at it. It's almost done. It's coming together. We're almost there. Okay, see ya. So let's talk the sweater, the cardigan, her. I'm super, super pleased with how it came out. At the end of the day, it is an acrylic cardigan, so it's going to be very warm, which is hopefully what you're looking for in a cardigan. At this moment in time, it is the beginning of August. We are still very much in summer here. It is, I think, 85 degrees still at 8 o'clock at night here where I am. So it is still quite warm. So at this moment in time, I do not need a sweater this thick. But when we get to the winter, when we get to autumn, this is going to be a lovely, lovely piece to just throw over any outfit. I think the green is a beautiful shade. I am very, very happy with it. The detailing that I put into it, I am over the moon about. I think the leaf going up the side, it was such a spur of the moment, last minute decision. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna adapt the pattern. I'm gonna make this work. And I am so happy that I did because I think it came out perfect. Things I don't like about it. For starters, the actual button band. I do not like the count that the original pattern called for. I think the count of the stitches on the button band was a weird number. I don't know how to explain it other than it's too short on the front, so it kind of like scrunches up on the hem here, and it does the same on this side as well. It's just like it didn't expand enough, and I think blocking might fix it, but it's also an acrylic yarn, so it's very fickle and very hard to block, so I don't think it's really going to work too well. Second thing I don't really like are the buttons. They are a very last minute decision. I realized as I was finishing up the sweater, I don't have any buttons that I liked to put on. All they really have right now are like the chunky plastic buttons, and those really weren't fitting the vibe I was going for. So I did go ahead and just crochet some buttons. I think that they're very cute. I just don't like them on this sweater. I think they are too bulky, too chunky. So I am going to replace those eventually down the line as well. Overall, I think this was a freaking home run. I'm so happy with it. It's so pretty. This has been on my list of things I wanted to make for literally years, actually. Ever since Taylor Swift started releasing the exclusive album-specific cardigans, I was like, oh man, I wonder what she's going to do for this one and for this one and for this one. So this is truly a series I would like to continue doing. I do have another one that has been on my mind for years as well. This is actually one that I started making several years ago and just never had the energy to finish. It takes a lot out of you to make a cardigan, especially this one, because there are so many cables. It's just also a large, thick monster of a piece. So something to keep in mind if you do want to make one of these. I think it is a beautiful cardigan, just like even the base pattern, I think is beautiful. It really just gives that like fisherman sweater vibe. So I have now made 2 sweaters in a row. I am a little sweatered out. The next video I plan on doing is going to be very small, very simple, something just chill. Yeah, probably a couple of those, just so I can kind of get a little bit more experience on camera and editing as well. And these videos that I've made, these last 2 of just sweater or cardigan, they take so much effort, energy, and time. I just want like a project that's going to take me like 2 weeks. Catch me next time on something a little bit simple. If you are here, I hope you had a good time. I will make another one of these eventually, not Evermore. I am done with that. I'm happy with it. I love her. Just admire it for a moment. The next one, I already know which one I want to do. I already have the idea in my head, but let me know what you would think. Do you like the cardigan design that I made? If you have any ideas how you would do it, please let me know. I'm always open to hearing new things. Drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time, and I will not be making a sweater. Have a good one. Bye.